Hi, welcome to Sarah's Storytime. Obviously, I am not Sarah. My name's Emma, I'm normally behind the camera, but today we're doing things a little bit differently. Sarah wanted me to ask some questions about the last season that she's been in, moving into her new flat, what it's all been about, and also get you excited for what's to come. So she's got lots of plans, lots of things up her sleeve, things that I know she can't wait to tell you about. So I'm going to ask some questions, but now I'm going to spin you round so that you can see the woman of the moment.
Wow, thank you, Emma. That was a very lovely introduction. To start off with, I thought that I know that nobody's actually asked, but I thought you deserved a look at the woman that has been monitoring what's going on behind the camera. I must. Before I carry on, I would like to say a massive thank you to her, simply because she has. When we started, she allowed me into her home, she allowed me to film there, she rearranged all the furniture when I was coming round, and we had an absolute blast. And she's nodding, which you can't actually see. Yes, so Emma, fire away with your questions.
Would you like to tell everybody about the move to your new flat? How have you found it?
I'm going to be honest, because I'm the kind of person that generally is honest. It's been fun, but it's been a challenge as well. Mainly because, and this may be going quite personal, and I know that I'll keep looking away from the camera because sometimes the camera can be very scary, but when I first moved in, it was amazing and I loved it completely, and it was all full of life. It was full of coming up with different stuff. As you probably saw from the last video, there were a massive amount of things in here and it feels like home, but with that has come its own set of challenges. I'm going to be very honest with you guys. I, believe it or not, suffer at times from low self-esteem. I do not find it. I do not always find it that easy to be on my own because I don't always like myself. I know that there are people who, some of whom watch these videos, some of whom do not, who love me and who care for me and who know that I have far more worth than I realise, and they have been so good in instilling that in me. They have encouraged me. There is one person, as you probably guessed, in particular, who's done that on a regular basis, and that is him. I can never get enough of how much, I can never fully understand how much he loves me. And that's an exciting thing for me. But at the same time, yes, I do run away, and yes, I do have struggles where I just believe that he can't actually love me because because I've done something bad, and time again he comes back and says, "Sarah, what are you doing? I still love you, I'm still here, I'm still for you," every single time. For me, it's a journey of knowing, hang on, I am loved, and learning how much I am loved, and learning to love myself in the process. And yes, there have been times where I've not coped very well, but I'm getting there, and I'm hoping to occasionally do videos like this so that you guys know what's going on in my life, and know what I'm up to and have fun with me and stuff like that.
That's amazing, thank you. It's beautiful that you've been so honest. Tell us about the flat before you moved in, what it was like and what You've put into it yourself, you know, colour schemes, furniture, that sort of thing. How have you made it your own?
Oh yes. So when I first got the keys, I got the keys about a month before I moved into the flat. There was no carpet. The bedroom was purple. The living room was magnolia. I do not like that kind of colour scheme. I love to make places bright and accessible and make it feel like home. And so, oh yes, and the floor was bare. I think I mentioned that the floor was bare. Yes, I did. And so a massive amount of work went into it in the 2-3 weeks before, 2-3 weeks to a month before I moved in. We had I had a friend from church who happens to be a professional painter and decorator come round and paint the living room and the bedroom and the bathroom and all the doors and make it look really, really lovely and pristine. I had people come in. I bought and paid for and had this carpet installed. I bought my own cooker and fridge. When I actually moved in, the place was a bit crazy. I didn't have a bed, so I ended up sleeping on an airbed for one night and it got squished. I managed to get a bed for the next night, so that was good. As you probably saw, this chair came from IKEA. The chair that Emma was sitting in actually came from my dad. The TV and various other bits and pieces came from family and friends. We bought, now you may have seen the table in the last video, we bought this table from Dorothy House, as I said last week, and it's a really good buy, mainly because you can actually collapse it, you can move it round, you can have it lengthways, you can have people round to eat at it. There's chairs that are stacked inside the table. We've got a lot of space that we've got some space, but not as much as people think. It's like the living room looks really big. And to a certain extent it is. It's big enough that, and please note, we have actually tested this, it's big enough that you can fit 2 beds side by side in it. But you have to rearrange some of the furniture, you have to make sure that everything's in its right place, you have to move tables and chairs and stuff so that people can fit in, but you can fit it, you can actually fit it in. It's cosy, and I rather like it. And yes, and it's like and one of the things that I really want to be able to do is to host people. I am somebody who likes having friends around. I am somebody who likes spending time with people and hanging out with them. That's partly one of the reasons that I've actually moved filming of the videos to here rather than at Emma's place, because it means you get to see my flat on a regular basis, and that's exciting, and it feels like I've got people in the flat, sort of. I mean, I have at least one extra person in the flat, and then I have a camera in front of me. So
So tell us about the people who live around you. What's the complex like? You said you like to have friends over. I know some people have visited you.
Yeah.
Tell us about this area that you're in.
Right. So I'm living in an area of Bath called Twerton. I'm not going to tell you exactly where it is because the building that I'm living in is it's supported living. Some of you already know this, but I have a learning disability called dyspraxia. I may have talked about it on my videos, I can't remember. It's made life interesting, to put it politely. And so I actually have a support worker in once a week. And I live with a lot of other people who have learning disabilities and or physical impairments. There's quite a few people in the building who are deaf. There are people in the building who have learning disabilities. There are people with Down syndrome. There are people with there are people who are hard of hearing. There are people who cannot walk around without wheelchairs and without like walkers and things like that. There are some people who've lived here for basically since the building opened, and I have met some of them, and it can be quite interesting, especially with communication. I don't actually sign yet, and I'd love to learn to sign, and that's one of the things that I'm really hoping that I can do. And so at the moment it can be quite interesting when you see somebody and you're like, hi, are you okay? And it's like, yes, I'm fine. But other than that, it's like, I don't know what you're saying. I really need to learn to sign. That can be quite interesting, to say the least. But it's a very loving community, and it's a very warm community. And people look after each other. I'm really beginning to enjoy myself. Yes, I know I spend a lot of time in the flat. And yes, I know I have quite a few people over outside of the flat, and it's like I've had people over to bake. I've had people over for coffee. I am looking forward to having people over, but I want to get to know the people in the building, and I'm starting to actually want to do that as opposed to hiding away in my flat because I just want to get used to it, and I'm kind of not big brave and things like that. But yeah.
Are there any community projects or things in the local area that you've got involved in that you'd like to tell us about?
Yes, I have. So one of the so there's a couple of things that I've managed to get involved in. One of which, obviously, I've got involved in a local church, which is called Grace Community Church, and it's run by a lovely couple called Nathan and Annaliki. And if they're watching, hey, I'm talking about you guys. And the church family really is a family that you can. It's a really lovely, safe place. I've begun to get to know people. I've got there's a few people that have come up. There's one or two people that have come over to the flat from there. It's a group of about somewhere between 20 and 30 people. But it's lovely because it's a real sense of family and safety, and I can be myself. I don't have to be all right. Although, having said that, I'm allowed to be who I am. And that for me is a really releasing and freeing thing, because if you don't feel like you can be yourself and you have to be somebody that you're not, then there's no point in going somewhere that makes you feel like you have to be a certain way. I know that there are various places where I know I can't fully be myself, mainly because it's like a lot of those places like work or a certain social situation or whatever, and there are times when you don't feel like you can be fully yourself because because there's a chance that it's like if I was me, I'd be praying for every single person at Morrison's. And yes, I know there's probably one or two people watching this who would say, yes, I know what you're like, but there are things I'd love to be able to do, like praying for people at work. However, I've got into trouble for it before, and so I tend to kind of pray under my breath instead. People don't realise how much I pray for people, I think. There was something that actually came up, but I'm not going to go into it on this video, mainly because that's a private thing between me and him. And as well as that, I've also got involved in something called Tea and Toast, which is run by one of the members at one of the Grace members. She runs tea and toast pretty much every week. Her name is Tracy, and it's lovely. The kids come and play. There's a bunch of mums that come as well. You get tea, you get toast. This morning we had bacon and sausages and tomatoes, and some people had scrambled eggs, but I don't like scrambled eggs, so I didn't have any, surprisingly enough. Next week, and I'm really looking forward to this, we are, I'm taking along some gingerbread cutters because we're going to be making Christmas gingerbread. Plus I'm also taking some stencils with me. I'm also hopefully taking a book that I've borrowed, a couple of books that I've borrowed to read to the kids. I actually got to read to the kids this week because Tracy kind of realised that I like reading, and so she said, why don't you read that a particular book to the kids? So I did, and one of the mums was surprised that the kids sat still for the whole time, but that was quite fun. And I've also just got involved in a, as in today, kind of involved in a community choir, which there's a handful of us, but it's been fun so far because we've just started doing Christmas stuff, surprisingly. I mean, it's nearly the end of October, and oh yes, of course my phone's off. It's nearly the end of October, and it's Halloween next week. Oh great, it's Halloween next week. That's a good point. So we've just started. We did The Little Drummer Boy, and we did Rocking Around the Christmas Tree, and we did a few other bits and pieces as well, and I really like it. Plus there's an open mic on Thursday that I am now going to. Slightly surprised that I'm going, but it's going to be fun. I'm going to see if I can find something to read or something to sing or something along those lines. It should be quite fun. And if somebody decides they're going to record it, then I will see if I can get it uploaded on here. And if nobody records it, then I'll take then I'll see if I can take a camera next time so that I can, so that you can see me performing. That'll be fun. Yes.
That sounds really lovely. And how are your family quickly? Because you've all moved, haven't you? You've all got new stuff going on in your lives. Are they well?
Well, my mum and I don't know whether my mum will watch this or not, but my mum has managed to put in an offer on a bungalow in Cumbria. The offer was accepted, and at some point this week she should have the surveyor going round, so hopefully by the end of November-ish, I hope, I pray, that she'll actually have her own place where she can live, and it's going to be awesome for her. Yay! Yes, I know I am getting excited for my mum. This shouldn't come as a surprise. My brother has moved to a house in Limpsham Green, which is up near where we used to live, and he is sharing a house with 5 other guys, or at least 4 other guys and a girl, maybe, I can't quite remember. And he seems to have settled in relatively well. He comes and stays here about once every 2 weeks. I get the bed out for him, and he comes and sleeps over, and then disappears off again for the morning. We're also beginning to organise some stuff, like we're hoping to organise a games night. We're hoping to, I'm hoping to start doing like baking sessions with people. I've already started doing baking sessions with 1 or 2 people, which is great fun. I'm hoping to do some craft sessions maybe, and I'm beginning to think about things that I want to get. I'm as well, let me introduce you to my new microphone. I know it's huge and I really, really like it. It's a really good microphone and I think it's rather cute. And I haven't got a name for him yet. Emma thinks that I should call him Olaf and she's nodding her head. I'm not sure that Olaf is the right name.
I think it's a perfect name.
You would say that. Besides, there may be copyright on Olaf. But I'm glad that they're settled, more or less. I mean, I will be really glad when my mum is settled because it means that I get a bookcase and a chest of drawers. So please note her managing to find somewhere is not entirely virtuous, mainly because I'm kind of like, I want to be able to have a chest of drawers because I've only got a wardrobe and it's quite packed full and kind of thing. But I really honestly will be happy when she's got somewhere. And I think she's waited longer than I have because the original deal that she'd made just before we moved fell through. Well, she pulled out and there were extenuating circumstances behind that I will not go into because it's not my business to go into. And she said she liked it, so I am really happy for her on this one. Yeah.
Amazing. And now, would you like to tell everybody watching, because I'm sure they're dying to know, what plans you have for future videos and what you're going to be doing up until Christmas?
Yes! Well, because I'm still getting used to the flat and because I'm still working out what I can film, because moving was such a, let's be honest, stressful experience. It's the first time I've moved into my own place. It's the first time that I've had somewhere that's actually mine and it can basically be mine forever, like literally. I'm going to be taking things steady. I am not going to be filming every week. However, because I now have a microphone, I can use it to record and upload. So my plan is to start using the microphone as well as the camera in order to be able to do stuff. One of the things that I want to start doing, very much so, is filming me doing cooking videos. So it's going to be basic. I'm going to start off with doing some basics. My next video hopefully will be doing meringues. I'm also going to be teaching you how to make things like gingerbread men. I'm going to be teaching how to do pastry. I'm also hoping to have some guests on the show so that I'm not going to be cooking on my own, and people can come on the show. I'm also planning on doing some like audio, some readings of. Obviously, I'm going to be doing the retelling, still trying to do classic fairy tales, but I'm also going to be looking into doing things like Christmas books that I can read. I am hoping to start reading Christmas Carol to get you all into this. All into the spirit, so that could be quite fun. I am going to be wanting voice actors for that, so if you're watching this and you're a voice actor, please let me know if you're interested. I'm hoping also to at some point record and upload an audio version of Alice in Wonderland because it's the 100th anniversary, and I'm really hoping that I can get that sorted because I had it all but sorted before I moved, but in the confusion with everything it just got massively busy and I ended up not being able to do it. So I'm hoping to do that. I'm going to be the narrator, and we've got a ton of other people who've actually said, I want to be in it. So that's awesome. Excuse me, I'm also going to be starting to do some Christmas videos. One of the things that I'm hoping to do, which I will really enjoy, is from the end of November, beginning of December, I'm hopefully going to be doing a few live streams where we're going to be reading the 9 lessons and carols and then having a discussion about them. Now, my plan is to do them on microphone rather than on video, because that actually works out easier, and there are some people who don't necessarily like being on camera. And so I'm hoping to do that. I'm hoping to just do some recording, because the mic is very, very new, and I want to see what it can do. I want to be able to test it out and learn how to upload videos to do with that. I'm hoping to start doing some craft videos at some point, but I can't promise anything because of time constraints, and because of getting used to this place and working out what I can afford and what I can't afford to do and things like that. Sometimes I won't be able to upload. I will always try and make sure that I let you know somehow, but yeah, so it may be a little bit of a bumpy ride for the next few months, but please bear with me and give me a massive amount of grace on this, simply because if you've ever been through a move, you know what if you've ever moved, you know what it's like, and if you've never moved, it's stressful, and it takes a few months to get used to a place. So yeah, anyway, I think that just about wraps it up. Yes, it does. And so next week I'm hoping to upload a little bit of an audio recording. There is one other thing I will mention. I hope it's okay to mention this. I'm actually now involved in a project to do with an app called iPo. I'm going to be reading Charles Dickens' biography. It's quite short and very, very sweet, and that's going to be on another person's channel. I will attempt to link it in the description, but I hope that but once that's up and ready, I will let you know, and I will link it in. Will definitely link it in the description, and I hope that you enjoy that. Anyway, I will see you all very, very soon. Just to let you know, I know that I was going to do, I know that I was going to do Red Riding Hood. I still plan to do that. I'm also going to teach you how to make a Red Riding Hood puppet. But next time I see you, and I'm going to work out when that is, hopefully I will be teaching you how to make meringues. I hope you all have a really good day. See you soon.